All right, talk a little bit about the road to 2024 now at the end of what really was a major week in Trump news. We're getting a look at some new poll numbers here. Want to share these with you. They're coming to us from Real Clear Politics. So, folks, in a 2024 hypothetical between Trump and Biden, you see the numbers there. Donald Trump takes the lead, 45.3%. Now, if it is a hypothetical between Ron DeSantis and Joe Biden, well, it's still a Republican win. DeSantis takes the lead, 44.6%.
So let's welcome in now with more on this former gubernatorial candidate in Michigan, Tudor Dixon. And also with us today is founder of the hashtag Walk Away campaign, Brandon Straka. So good to see you both. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
All right. So Tudor, let's start with you. What do you make of these numbers? Do you think that they'll tighten up as the campaign goes forward? And more so also, there's some recent polls showing that even Chris Christie, former governor of New Jersey, is starting to see, he's starting to move up a little bit in the polls. He's still way behind Donald Trump, and so is, Governor DeSantis here in Florida, but nonetheless, Christie's moving up. So one, what do you make of these latest the poll number that Bianca went through? And two, do you think Chris Christie is starting to turn into a threat for Mr. Trump or DeSantis?
Well, it's very early on. I don't think that anybody thinks that Chris Christie is a threat at this point, but I do think that these numbers are interesting after the week that we've come off of. Here we have the president indicted and 37 felonies and the former president, and we have everybody coming out and kind of coalescing around him. You've even seen some of his opponents come out and say, wait a minute, we will support him. We will pardon him if we win. But that looks like they're sort of supporting him through this whole thing. It's awkward for his opponents, and it's interesting for the Democrats. Are they doing this because they know this will boost his poll numbers and then they will run against him? And is that what they want? That's the question people are asking.
Yeah, I don't think when anyone entered the race that they'd be, figuring out they also have to navigate the strategy of Donald Trump's criminal cases, thrown into this. But here we are. And I want to ask you, Brandon, about sort of this war of words we've seen between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Newsom's threatening those kidnapping charges over migrants flown to his state. But DeSantis responded yesterday and he said, why don't you jump into the race here for 2024? Take a listen.
He has a real serious fixation on the state of Florida. I mean, I think it's just bizarre that he does that. But what I would tell him is, you know what? Stop pussyfooting around. Are you going to throw your hat in the ring and challenge Joe? Are you going to get in and do it, or are you just going to sit on the sidelines and chirp? So why don't you throw your hat in the ring, and then we'll go ahead and talk about what's happening.
All right, so DeSantis, not afraid of getting chippy, okay? This is, his style. We've heard this before. But is this helpful? You have DeSantis talking about somebody, Brandon, who's not even a candidate.
That's true, but everybody was talking about Ron DeSantis long before he was a candidate as well. I mean, I think that what's happening between these two men right now is sort of a reflection of what we can expect in the future of politics. I think that right now, who knows if Ron DeSantis is actually going to be a contender to become the Republican primary. I think that still remains to be seen. But I think most people feel certain that at least down the road in the future, Ron DeSantis is going to be a main contender in the Republican Party. And I think as far as Democrat politics, people think that Gavin Newsom will be. So I think these two men are kind of taking aim at each other right now, which is sort of like relevant to what we'll be seeing in the future of politics and these two contenders going into the future.
Well, clearly, if you look at two states, a lot of people are saying, focus on your own problems, California, Florida.
I was literally just going to say that.
Did you read my mind?
Focus on the problems in your state, Governor.
There's plenty of those.
Before you start throwing your hat in the ring, so to speak. Hey, real quick, Tudor. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was on Joe Rogan's podcast this week, and I think we have time. Let's do it anyway. Take a listen to what he said when asked about his belief the CIA assassinated his uncle, of course, JFK, and then Rogan asked, what happens if you get into office? And listen to what RFK Jr. said.
I got to be careful. I mean, I'm aware of that, and I'm not, I'm aware of that danger. And, I don't live in fear of it, at all. But I'm not stupid about it.
So is RFK, the concern about maybe the CIA could target him? Is he venturing into some murky, conspiratorial waters Tudor, or does he have a point?
Well, I think at this point, everybody is saying, look at what the government is doing to a former president right now. It's certainly a time when people are concerned about what that could mean. But I would just caution folks out there, if you are a conservative and you are drawn in by some of these things that he's talking about, check out exactly what RFK is talking about, because he is very progressive on other issues. So you just have to be careful of what candidate you're choosing.
Yeah, and it seems like the strategy now on the Biden camp is just to ignore him and hope he doesn't keep taking away some of his numbers. We'll see if that continues to be effective. Of course, he doesn't want to answer a lot of questions. Biden dodging enough troubles with the bribery scandal there. Hey, we got to leave it there. Wish we had more time, but we don't. Tudor Dixon, Brandon Straka, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.